Praise be to you, Yahuwah my Elohim. Praise be to your Son, Yahushua my Messiah. I come at your feet in the name of your Son. Thank you for the knowledge you pour unto me, and thank you for breaking out the shackle that was bound on my face. Yahuwah, you are the only true living God. Indeed. Thank you for your Yahusha, whom you truly love. You are Elohim, the Elohim of the Yahudim.
Shalom, family. I'm your brother, Pierre Ligi, and this is The Remnant Awakens. Today's message, it's not just any message. It's a call to every dry bone out there, every lost one, every descendant of royalty who's been told they're nothing. Hear me clearly. This is not hate. It's not anti-Semitism. No, this is scripture, history, prophecy, truth. Now, the world, they don't want to talk about this. They're afraid of it, even denying it, even hiding it. But the Most High didn't hide the truth. He wrote it. So we have to ask the question they've buried for centuries. Who are the real Hebrews? Are you ready for the answer? Let's start with Yashar'el, the bloodline of Yaakov, called Jacob in English. His name was changed to Yashar'el after wrestling with the angel. That name, Yashar'el, it means one who strives with Elohim. It's not just a name. It's a purpose, a calling, a covenant. Now, let me be clear about something. Yaakov's children weren't Europeans. No, not by a long shot. We're talking about Semitic people, wool-haired, brown-skinned descendants. They lived in ancient Canaan, in Egypt, in Arabia. These were people of the land, sun-kissed, with features that shouted their heritage. That heritage that you're still carrying, but maybe not even realizing. You know, here's what sets Yashar'el apart. The covenant, the Torah, the promise made to Abraham, carried by Yaakov and his sons. They were chosen not because they were perfect, but because the Most High had a plan. From this bloodline came Yahusha HaMashiach. You know who that is? The Lion of the tribe of Yehuda. That's Yehuda, one of Yaakov's sons. That's your history, family, your truth. And I know it sounds radical to some people, but think about it. Does the world want you to know this? No. Do they teach this in schools? Absolutely not. Because if you really knew who you are, the power you have, they'd lose control. And that's what this is about. Keeping you from waking up to the truth. All right, let's get into it. What did the real Hebrews look like? See, scripture isn't vague about this. It's clear, so clear, and I'm going to show you the evidence. Lamentations 5:10 says, "Our skin was black like an oven." Black like an oven. Family. That's not a metaphor. That's a description, plain and simple. And Job 30:30. He says, "My skin is black upon me." He wasn't talking about a tan. He wasn't mistaken. This was his reality. And here's something else to consider. In Acts 21:38, Shaul, Paul to most of y'all, he was mistaken for an Egyptian. Now tell me this, how's a so-called white European man gonna be mistaken for an Egyptian? Not possible, not even close. Egyptians were brown. They were dark, just like the Hebrews. So why does the world keep showing us this pale-skinned, blonde-haired Jesus and disciples that look like they stepped out of a Renaissance painting? You know why? It's deception, family. pure deception. And then there's Daniel. Chapter 7, verse 9 says, his hair was like wool, wool, not silk, not straight, but wool. What people today have hair like wool? You already know the answer. You know it because it's your hair, your aunt's hair, your grandparents' hair. That's your identity. Oh, and don't think this proof is just locked in the scriptures. Archaeology backs it up too. We've found ancient depictions, carvings, even art that shows exactly what these people looked like. And guess what? They don't look like Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel version of events. They look like family. Your family, Hebrews. But see, the truth is uncomfortable, right? Especially for those who've built an entire system, an entire narrative on a lie. But here we are, tearing that lie down. And it's not just for knowledge, it's for awakening, for identity, for prophecy. Because if you don't know who you are, how can you know where you're going? Disobedience. That's where this starts. Deuteronomy 28 doesn't sugarcoat it. Family. Verse 15 says it plain. If you do not obey the voice of Yahuwah, if you don't keep the covenant, then curses will overflow. And they did. It's all right there in the scriptures. Verse after verse. Warning after warning. And then it happened. What kind of curses, you might ask? Look closely. Verse 68. And Yahuwah shall bring you into Egypt again with ships. Ships, family. Not on foot, not by caravan, ships. And what happens when they arrive? You will be sold to your enemies as male and female slaves, but no one will redeem you. That's the word, straight from the Torah. And what group of people in history does this fit? African Americans, Haitians, Jamaicans, Afro-Brazilians, Bantu, Akan, Ashanti. It's not just words on a page. It's our history, family. It's prophecy fulfilled right in our genealogies. Think about it for a second. Over 400 years of slavery, families torn apart, children sold, languages erased, identities stolen. Who else? Who else do we know went through this and still bears the scars? No other people have been scattered to the four corners of this earth like us, so-called black people. And why? Because of disobedience. But even in that, the Most High left a clue, a thread to lead us back home. And don't miss this part. It's not just about being scattered. It's about who scattered us. It wasn't random chance, and it sure wasn't fate. No, this was divine judgment. Yahuwah himself warned us, pleaded with us, sent us prophets, but we didn't listen. We didn't listen. And the covenant was broken. And so the curses came one by one, just like the word said they would. Now, I know someone out there is thinking, but Pierre, how does this all prove who the real Hebrews are? Well, let me tell you this. No other people fit this prophecy. Not the ones calling themselves Jews today. Not anyone else. This is our pain, our history, our identity. And you know what? That pain, as heavy as it is, it's the key to the truth. Because the word says our suffering would be a sign, a marker. It was never meant to destroy us. It was meant to wake us up to who we really are. All right, family, let's address it head on. Revelation 2.9 says it loud and clear. Those who say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Hasatan. You heard that right? The synagogue of Hasatan. Who is this talking about? History tells us about the Khazars, an empire from the 8th century, Ashkenazi converts, not the seed of Abraham, not even from Shem. No, they come from Japheth, Noah's other son. You're starting to connect the dots, and get this. It's not even a secret. The Jewish Encyclopedia admits it. It says the majority of modern Jews are of Khazar origin. So what does that mean? It means they're converts to Judaism, not descendants of Yasharel. They're not Shemitic. They've got no blood tie to the covenant. None at all. But here's the kicker. Why isn't this taught widely? Because they control the narrative, the systems, the structures that shape what we learn, what we believe. They've taken an identity that isn't theirs and used it as a weapon, a shield, an excuse to rule. And the world, blinded by their facade, has accepted them as the chosen people. Let me stop here for a second. This isn't me being hateful. No, this is history. This is truth. This is scripture coming to life. And you know what's wild? It was all foretold. The Most High warned us about imposters, and here they are, claiming a heritage they don't own. So, family, what do we do with this? Wake up. Wake up to the lies, the deceit, the systems built to keep us asleep. Because the truth is, and always has been, the light that sets us free. Let's talk about deception. Family. How did the world come to believe this lie? Why do people see images of a white Messiah with long flowy hair looking like he stepped out of some European castle and think that's Yahushua HaMashiach? It's by design, plain and simple. Roman Europe worked overtime to erase our identity, to rewrite history. It wasn't just subtle, this was deliberate. What do I mean? Look at the art, the statues, the stained glass in cathedrals. Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, those Renaissance artists. They didn't paint the truth. They painted what the Catholic Church told them to paint. Yahusha, the disciples, even the prophets. They were all reimagined with pale skin, thin noses, and straight hair. But remember what I said earlier. Daniel described hair like wool. Job, Lamentations. They told us their skin was dark. So where's the match? It's not there. This wasn't an accident. This was whitewashing. Family. They remade the image of the Most High's chosen people in their own image. Like Scripture says, they changed the truth of God into a lie. And they didn't stop there. They replaced names too. The Creator, our Elohim, became God. Yahushua HaMashiach? Nah. They switched that to Jesus. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying every translation is evil, but there is power in a name. Yahusha, the name literally means Yahweh is salvation. That's identity. That's covenant. And when you strip that away and replace it with something generic, something that holds no context, you take away the connection. You make it easier to forget who you are and whose you are. And speaking of forgetting, let's talk about borders, languages, even your family's last name. What did colonization really do? It erased, it rewrote. My own last name, Ligi. How much of that reflects my ancestors, my true lineage? See, they divided Africa into pieces, gave folks European-sounding names, redrew maps, banned native tongues. They tore apart identities like it was nothing. And here's the crazy part. We didn't just lose geography or culture. We lost a legacy. The link back to Yashar El got severed. But family, let me tell you something. You can only bury the truth for so long. Because what's happening right now, it's the remnant waking up. But think about it. If you forget who you are, you'll never know whose you are. That's why they did it. That's why they erased us. The lie, the falsehood, it lets them stay in control and keeps you asleep. And I don't know about you, but me, I'm awake now and there's no going back. Family, let me ask you this. Has the world ever called you cursed? Have they looked at your struggles, your pain, your history, and said you were born to suffer? Let me break it down for you. If your ancestors came on ships, if your name was taken, your language erased, your God hidden, then listen to me right now. You're not cursed. No, you are chosen. You're Yasharel, the descendants of Yaakov, the one who wrestled with Elohim and won his blessing. That's you. That's us. And the world calls us lost. Think again. Our souls aren't lost. They're awakening. Can you feel it? Because I do. It's like a fire, a spark inside that whispers, remember who you are. This isn't a religion we're talking about, family. This is blood. This is covenant, passed from generation to generation, even when the world tried to steal it from us. And no matter how hard they tried, they couldn't destroy what the Most High has protected. This journey, this awakening, its prophecy, unfolding in real time. The dry bones, they're coming to life. The remnant, that's you, that's me, that's every one of us who's recognizing the truth. And the covenant we thought was forgotten, it's being restored, piece by piece. We're going home, spiritually, physically, however the Most High leads us. Mark my words, family, it's time to rise. So, when they tell you you're nothing, when they look at your identity and try to erase it, remember this. You are the child of the promise. You are Yasharel. And the truth they cannot hide forever is that the remnant is alive. It's awakening. And it cannot be stopped. Family, we've reached a pivotal moment. The fake ones, yeah, they sit in the land, claiming what doesn't belong to them. But us, the real ones, we're scattered across the four corners of the face of the earth. Scattered, but not forgotten. Scattered, but rising. We're remembering who we are. Isaiah 11:11 says, He shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people. Family, this is that second time. The awakening is here. It's happening right now. And you, yes, you are part of it. You are one of the natural branch. Let that sink in. The most precious, the most chosen lineage. And what does that mean? It means you've got purpose. You've got identity. It's time to walk in it. No more doubt. No more letting the world define you. You know the prophecy. Dry bones are coming to life. And guess what? Those dry bones, they're us. You're not just anybody. You're Yasharel. Chosen, destined, covered by the covenant. But let me remind you, this isn't just for us. To the wild branch, those who've been grafted into the promise, hear me loud and clear. You are not forgotten. Not at all. Stay faithful. Rejoice in the truth, because what's happening now? It's the blindfold of deception being ripped away. You're seeing the Most High's truth, the true Yasharel, the true identity of his people. This is divine revelation unfolding in your lifetime. And as we close, know this. The remnant is rising. The natural branch, the descendants of Yaakov, we're claiming what's ours, the name, the covenant, the promise. Stay tuned, family, because in a future episode, I'm going to dive into how you can trace your lineage back to one of the 12 tribes of Yasharel, using biblical proof and history like always. But for now, walk in your identity. Walk in the truth. And that's all for today, family. I'm Pierre Lidji, your brother from the tribe of Yehuda, and this is The Remnant Awakens. If this message stirred something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video so it reaches more people. Subscribe if you're awakening to truth, and comment below with what stood out to you most. And if you know someone still sleeping, share this episode with them. Until next time, Shalom. See you all on the next episode.
Praise be to you, Yahuwah my Elohim. Praise be to your Son, Yahushua my Messiah. I come at your feet in the name of your Son. Thank you for the knowledge you pour unto me, and thank you for breaking all the shackle that was bound on my face. Yahuwah, you are the only true living God. Indeed. Thank you for your Yahushua, whom you truly love.